There we go. My camera's starting. Hello on YouTube and hello on Facebook and hello on Instagram right over here. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching live in the Facebook groups, just go ahead and type in which city and which state and which country you're watching from. Hello, Richard on Instagram from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, Ezekiel from California. Nice to see you here. Oh, we've got some nice people who are doing some spam type stuff. That's nice. Hello, Keto Sissy 311 from Washington, D.C. Hello, Shazette from Miami, Florida. Hey, Richard. Nice to see you. Hey, Christine. Hey, Joe. Ezekiel, Manish. Hey, Manish. How you doing? Long time no see. Nice. All right. So if you join, we're just... I'll just show you what I'm doing here because I'm going live on Facebook and YouTube as well. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. You're on Instagram. And let me just flip this around again. Okay, so we're going to do, if you're a business owner or if you're a entrepreneur or you work in sales, we're going to figure out on this call how much your drinking habits is actually costing you and your business in lost revenue. I think it's pretty, I'm not really so much interested in how much you spend on alcohol in terms of like buying drinks at the bar or buying bottles of wine. I'm more interested in what's the opportunity cost. Like, what are you not generating because you're tired and you're foggy and you're distracted and you're not operating at, say, an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Hello, Maurice on Facebook. Hello, Mel on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, just type your name and city and state in there. We've got a few people here who are saying drinking for life. That's fine. You do you. Cool. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to just pull out a pen and paper, if you're willing, of course, or you can figure it out in your head, but I like to write things out. I'm not the strongest at math, so when when I'm doing math, I like to pull out a pen and paper. But with so first question really is, how would you rate your productivity and your job performance at the moment? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? Would it be a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 9 out of 10, based on what your potential is and with your drinking habits the way they are, and with you feeling tired at times and maybe, you know, maybe not performing at the highest level? Like, how would you rate your job performance? Give us a little score out of 1 to 10. Hello, Sean from Maryland in Facebook. So just write down that score. So for example, you might write down, at the moment, I'm operating at a 5 out of 10. Or you might write down, at the moment, I'm operating at a 6 out of 10. Or it might be an 8 out of 10, or it might be 3 out of 10. So with your drinking habits the way they are currently, how would you rate your job performance or your business performance? Most people I talk to who are interested in quitting alcohol tell me that they're about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. If you say you're a 9 out of 10, then maybe you're not drinking or maybe everything's fine. That's great. Someone says, it goes here, someone says it's 7 out of 10. Hey, Kelsey, Joe 2020, nice to see you. Got some people here saying 5 out of 10 on YouTube, on Facebook. So I'm just going to share my screen over here on YouTube and Facebook. I can't do it for Instagram, sorry, but I'll turn my camera around in just a second. So the next question I want you to write down, or the next thing I want you to write down is, how much money are you generating in your business each year with your at the moment? So how much are you generating in income or in business revenue? So with your drinking habits the way they are, and with you at a, let's say, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, whatever it is, how much are you generating in your business or taking home in income at the moment? Just write that figure down on a piece of paper, or if you don't have a piece of paper, just put it in your just have it in your head. So on YouTube and Facebook, if you're joining us, I'm just going to share my screen here. And because there's a calculator that you can, there's actually a quiz that you can take, which I'll drop the link in for you. So if you've got that, so the question was, the question was, how would you rate your job and business performance at the moment on a scale of 1 to 10? Is it 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10? With your drinking habits the way they are, whether it's seemingly an innocent glass of wine at the end of the night, whether it's 50 beers, or whether it's just a couple of drinks, how would you rate yourself? And then the second question is, how much do you currently make per year in your business or your job? Okay, so just write that number down. How much do you currently make with your drinking habits the way they are per year in your business or in your job? Okay. Okay, so now you've got that figure. Now I want you to write down how you think you would rate your productivity and your job performance if you were consistently alcohol-free over several months. So if you went from drinking a couple of drinks per night, or seemingly innocent drink each night, or whatever it is that you drink, to 0, right, and you stopped drinking, and therefore you slept better and you felt better and you performed better and you had more energy and more clarity and more focus, and now you're actually concentrating and focusing on the business. If you're in real estate, for example, maybe you make more, you generate more leads, or you create more prospects, or you make some more sales calls, or you start a business, or you create a new product in your business, or you have focus and energy to make more sales. Hey, Amber, nice to see you on Instagram. Hey on Facebook and YouTube. If you're just joining us, just go ahead and type in your name and city and state where you're joining us from. We're doing a math equation here to figure out how much drinking is actually costing you, especially if you're a business owner, or you're in real estate, or you work on commission. So how would you rate yourself if you were consistently alcohol-free? Okay, so most people tell me if they were consistently alcohol-free, there'd be something closer to a 9 out of 10. Maybe an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. Hey, Ryan in Colorado. Okay, so how would you rate your job and productivity on a scale of 1 to 10 if you were, let's say, at least 90 days alcohol-free? At least 90 days alcohol-free. Would it be a 9 out of 10, an 8 out of 10? Hey, Andrew from Sydney, nice to see you. Hey, Aman from Edmonton in Alberta, Canada, nice to see you. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube at the moment, just go ahead and type in your name and city and state where you're watching from. I'd love to say hello. All right. Now, last question. Last question is, if you are consistently operating at a 9 out of 10 with clarity and focus and energy and strategy, and you made things happen, and you made that extra call at the end of the day, or you thought smarter, or you fired someone quicker, or you hired someone faster, or you invested better because you've got that clarity in mind, how much revenue or income do you think you would generate over the course of a year? Hey, Jeff in Boston, nice to see you. Write that figure down. Okay, so I'll just show you what I'm doing here. The first question was, with your drinking habits the way you are, how would you rate your job performance? And most people will say like a 6 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, right? And then in this example, I asked the question, like, how much revenue or income do you generate for yourself per year? And I just use an example here of $100,000. Okay, there's $100,000 as an example. So you write that down. The next question was, if you quit alcohol and you were consistently alcohol-free, and you had clarity and focus and energy, and you were feeling better, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? And most people tell me they would probably feel like closer to a 9 out of 10. Like a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10, okay? And then the last question that I want you to write down is, how much revenue or income do you think you would generate if you were operating at a 9 out of 10? So if you were making an extra call, if you had clarity and focus, if you weren't so tired at the end of the day, if you weren't so foggy, if you just really focused and got things done, and you were feeling better and just everything around you was feeling better, how much would you make? So in this example, I'm going to put $150,000. That's $50,000 more. Okay, so this is the example I've used. With drinking habits the way you are, you feel like a 6 out of 10 and you're making 100 grand a year. You get rid of alcohol and now you're operating at 9 out of 10. In this example, you make $150,000 per year. Let me just show you up here on YouTube and Facebook. If you're operating in a 6 out of 10 with your drinking habits the way that you are, in this example, you make 100 grand. If you quit alcohol and now you're operating at a 9 out of 10 with focus and energy and strategy and more energy, now you might make $50,000 more. You might make $150,000. Okay, you might make $150,000. So your drinking is actually costing you at least $50,000. And we haven't even equated for how much we spend on alcohol yet. So the difference between what you're making now by being at a 6 out of 10 and what you could make by being at a 9 out of 10 is $50,000, which means you're leaving $50,000 on the table. You're leaving $50,000 on the table because of your drinking habits. Okay? You see that? Now, if we just add up what we actually spend on alcohol, let me have some answers. How much do you think that you spend on alcohol per month? If you want to just put in that figure there. Hey, Jack Mason, nice to see you. If you just type in how much money do you spend on alcohol per month, we'll figure that out and we'll add that to the equation. And by the way, if you want a quiz where you can actually take a proper quiz on this, and I'll just share the screen on my YouTube and Facebook live stream. If you want this quiz, send me a message that says quiz and I will send you a direct message with the actual quiz. And I'll just show you on Instagram what I'm showing here. This is the actual quiz here. It's called the Alcohol Lost Revenue Calculator. How much is your drinking actually costing you and your business? And you can start the quiz and it'll ask you a bunch of questions, and it will, once you've answered the questions, it will tell you how much you're actually spending on alcohol. It's not just the money that you spend on alcohol, but it's the money that you don't make because you're tired and fatigued and not operating at your best. Whoops. Hey, Sydney Wright. Hey, Felton. Hey, Grace, Full Traveler. Hey, Atticus. Nice to see you. Hey, JK3 Birds. Nice to see you. So let me just put the phone back up here and I'll stop the sharing screen on my, there we go. I'm back here on YouTube and Facebook. So let's just say that you spend $200 a month on alcohol and alcohol-related activities. Okay, so $200 on alcohol and alcohol-related activities. Maybe you buy some glasses of wine. Maybe you go out for some drinks. Alcohol-related activities might include dinners that you might buy that you ordinarily wouldn't. Maybe you buy a dessert at the end of a meal that you wouldn't ordinarily, but you do tonight because you're drinking alcohol. Maybe it's catching up with friends for a quick drink at the end of the day after a hard day's work. $200 is a pretty modest amount, right? For many people, it's a lot more than that, but a lot of people spend $200 a night on alcohol. But let's just say it's $200 per month. Well, $200 times a year, over a year is like close to $2,500, $2,400. But let's just say $2,500. Okay. So what we do is we add how much you're actually spending on alcohol to how much you're missing out on. So we're adding the $50,000 in lost income to the $2,500 you're actually spending. And now we've got a figure that your drinking is actually costing you $52,500. But wait, there's more. Because you're tired and hungover, do you have a sick day from work? Or do you get the cold or the flu and now you're going to the pharmacy and you're having to buy cold and flu tablets? That costs money, right? So now there's all these little hidden costs. Maybe you get a DUI. Maybe you get arrested and you're over the limit. Well, that costs a lot of money. I think it's like a $1,000 fine, I think, or even more. What about sick days? If you work in a service job and you can't work, well, you don't get paid, right? So you're missing out on income. You're missing out on income that way, right? So if we do the math here, right, if we really do the math, let's add another, maybe $100 a month in stuff that we're not thinking about. It could be Ubers or taxis. I know COVID-19 is a little bit less likely to do so, but there's a few little other hidden costs. Let's add another $2,500 in hidden costs to do with alcohol, right? So we add another $2,500. And so now in this equation, we're up to $55,000 is what your drinking is costing you every single year, just in this example. Okay. Now, if we do the math, who here has got a calculator? Who here wants to go and do a calculation for me? What's $55,000 divided by 365? Can someone do that on their phone right now and just pop the answer in? 55,000, excuse me, 55,000 divided by 365, which is 365 days of the year. 55,000 divided by 365. If you're there and you can just quickly do that equation for me and post the answer in, that would be great. Because what we're trying to figure out here is exactly how much we're actually spending on alcohol per day. It's not that we're handing over the money, but we're not making the money, right? We're handing over some money to purchase the alcohol, but we're not making a lot. So if we do 55,000 divided by 55,000 divided by 365 equals $150 per day. So that's what that is. In this example, we're spending where am I? 150. Yeah, exactly. Sydney Wright says $150.68. Graceful Travel says 151 on Instagram. Thank you for sharing that. Gary Hughes says 150. Kelly France says $150.68. Yeah, $150. So in this example, your drinking is actually costing you $150 per day. I call it, I have this program called Project 90, and it helps entrepreneurs and business owners quit drinking for at least 90 days. And I call it, I call this daily tax a dumb tax. It's like a dumb tax. We're all paying a dumb tax. And the dumb tax in this scenario is $150 per day. So every morning that you wake up in this scenario, you're paying a dumb tax of $150, right? So again, people go, oh, I'm not really spending that much on alcohol. I'm only really spending, a few $100s a month, a few grand a year. Maybe you might even only be spending $10,000 a year, because maybe you entertain clients or colleagues, or you go out for work, networking, drinks, and things like that. That's fine. Maybe you're only spending $10,000 a year, but how much money are you not making because you're operating at a 6 out of 10, right? Then you do the math. So if we do the math here, right? Because I've spoken to people, entrepreneurs, business owners, realtors. Like if you're in real estate and you sell homes, you know that your ability to generate income for yourself is dependent on how many prospects you have and how many deals you close. And if you're operating at a 6 or a 7 out of 10 instead of an 8 or a 9 out of 10, that might mean one less sale that you make per month, right? Let's just say it's one less sale that you make per quarter even, right? So if you'd make 4 additional home sales per year and your average commission is, say, $15,000, right? Let's just say for every house that you sell, you get a commission of $15,000. If you can just make one more sale every 3 months, you generate an additional $60,000 in income for yourself over the course of a year. Right? Now, if you're drinking, having this seemingly innocent glass of wine or beer at the end of the night, and your sleep is compromised and you're waking up tired and foggy, or even if you're waking up energetic, but then you just start to crash at the end of the day, you don't make that additional call to a prospect. You're not as present with prospects. Prospects don't feel as connected to you, so you don't make the sale. And so therefore you make one less sale per quarter. That equals $60,000 in lost revenue that you're just leaving on the table because you chose to have a glass of wine each night at the end of the day. Is this making sense? If this is making sense, say, heck yeah, or hell yeah, or whatever you want to do, or give me a thumbs up or go, yeah, I got it, or wow, or I don't know, give me some kind of sign this is making sense here. Because when we do the math, it's kind of insane. I have entrepreneurs, business owners, real estate brokers in my Project 90 program, and I specifically help, like natural peak performers start performing at their peak again, because alcohol gets in the way of you performing at your peak. And society has got us believing that this is like just something that we do to relax at the end of the day, and that you deserve it because you're working really hard. But the reality is that it's attractively packaged poison. That's all it is. It's a toxin. It compromises your sleep. You wake up feeling just a little bit irritable. Because you're a little bit irritable, you don't make that additional call, or you don't show up on time, or you don't do your job as well as you could. Right? And then it just spirals out of control. And by the way, you don't need to be a raging alcoholic who's waking up in a ditch and getting DUIs and going to prison in order for drinking to absolutely destroy your life. A lot of times it's a silent, invisible destruction. It's an invisible destruction that happens over many months and many years. It's just one glass of wine every single day. One glass of wine, that's it. One glass of wine or one beer per day is enough for you to be leaving $100,000 on the table every single year. And over the course of 5 years, that's $500,000 that you're not generating because you're choosing to have one seemingly innocent glass of wine. It adds up. Gannon Matthews says, true. John Bonham says, adds up. Julio LeBron says, that's right. Yeah. Got that. What else we got here? So if you're just joining us and you've just joined us, we were just doing a mathematics equation where we were figuring out how much your drinking is actually costing you. If you want me to send you a copy of the quiz, type in the word quiz and I will send you a URL where you can take the quiz. Just a heads up as well, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, or you are a high performer, a peak performer, and you realize that you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table because of your drinking habits, then you can go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule and you can speak to one of my coaches for free for 15 minutes, and we can see if our 90-day quit drinking program is for you. Just a heads up, it is for people who are natural peak performers, people who have a lot of money to gain by being alcohol free and a lot of money to lose by continuing to stay with drinking. You might also want to just feel better, quite frankly, sleep better. If you want to talk to one of my coaches for free, it's a free 15-minute call. There's nothing to buy on that call. Again, you can go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule. I'll just show you where it is actually. I'll share it on my screen here for anyone who's watching on Facebook or YouTube and on Instagram as well. So I'll just pull this up. There we go. So if you go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule, this page will come up. Actually, let me just share it on my, I better share it on my screen here first. There we go. So yeah, so jamesswanwick.com/schedule, and you can just schedule a little 15-minute free call. There's a few slots available each day. Speak to one of my coaches and just share whatever's going on with you and your drinking, and they will supportively listen and answer any questions you have. And if you feel like doing the 90 days of quitting drinking with me and my team is for you, then we'll schedule another call. And if not, we're going to give you some free resources and a plan for you to quit drinking on your own anyway. So whether you want to do it on your own or whether you'd like to work with us and have us help you execute or integrate how to quit drinking, if you just go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule, which is right there, you can book a free 15-minute call. Again, nothing to buy on that call, just an exploratory chat just to see if it might be for you. So I hope that is helpful. Let me just check what else I've got going on here. Okay, I'll answer any questions. If anyone's got a question, I can see a few people here writing the word quiz. So let me just drop that in the chat. And if you've got a question, just type the word Q or the letter Q and question, and then type in your question, and I will answer it. Gary Hughes is asking for the quiz. Let me just get the quiz link. I'll send it to you in Facebook. There we go. It says, Okay, if you're on Instagram and you're here and you want to ask a question, go ahead. I've got Aman asking for the quiz, Graceful Traveler asking for the quiz. Yeah, let me just grab the quiz now and I will send it to you. 1 second. Quiz. Where is it? Quiz. Okay, found it. All right, here is the quiz link. Boom. So quiz and post. So I just posted it in there now. If you're wanting to figure out how much your drinking is actually costing you, just go in there and type in, go to that link I just popped in the Instagram feed. And I just, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I just posted it as a comment on my YouTube page as well, which is James Swanwick 1. It's telling me that I can't post the quiz to some Facebook group. So Gary, I'm not sure which Facebook group you're in, but I'm unable to post it in that group, but you can go ahead and post it. If you go to my YouTube channel or my Instagram, you'll be able to find it in the comments there. Nick Dimatina, how are you, buddy? Good to see you, mate. So any questions here? If you've got a question, just type in the letter Q and your question. But I'm seeing here that some people have been saying that their drinking has been costing them $60,000 a year, $70,000 a year, $55,000 a year. Again, it's not what you spend on alcohol, it's what you don't make because you're only operating at a 6 out of 10. If anyone's got a question, or if anyone actually wants to share in the comments how much they think their drinking is actually costing them, then I'd love to work with you. Hey, Jenna, nice to see you. Hey, Amber. Amber says, I stopped drinking because when I was in the military, everyone did it. Yeah, so society is rampant with alcohol. In fact, I was at a party recently in my mate Nick's place here in Byron Bay, and there was very little alcohol. In fact, I don't even recall there being any alcohol. And there was probably a good 50 people there on a Saturday night in Byron Bay, Australia, which is on the East Coast. And yeah, it was my mate's birthday party. And I'm trying to remember if I saw any alcohol there. I don't think there was any alcohol. 50 people. And everyone was having a great time. There was wonderful food. There was great conversations. There was a band that was playing. In fact, there were 3 different musicians who were playing. Everyone felt connected. It was fun. And there was zero alcohol, zero. And these are, you know, conscious people, growth-minded people who are not leaving money on the table because of their drinking habits, right? Niall says, James, beer is too delicious to give up. Yes, addictive. Yes, delicious. Also hard to ever stop this behavior. It's like giving up a food group. Got it. So let me just tell you a few little things about alcohol. I got you here. Alcohol is responsible for 3 times as many deaths as all other drugs combined. Just let that sink in for a second. Alcohol is responsible for 3 times as many deaths as all other drugs combined. Yet it's the only drug where you have to explain yourself as to why you're not consuming it. Just let that think in for a second. It's the only drug on the planet where you have to justify why you're not consuming it. So society has this all backwards, I'm telling you. And it's, you know, cute that I've got people here on Instagram who are messaging going, beer for life, dude. And like, you know, oh, I love the beer. And I can see you're trying to be combative and, you know, cute or whatever. That's fine. You just do you. Keep doing you. But here are the facts, right? The facts are that alcohol is responsible for 3 times as many deaths as all other drugs combined. Alcohol is responsible for things like heart disease, liver disease, early dementia, signs of aging. If anyone here was wanting to stop the aging process and reverse it, then stopping alcohol will literally make you look years younger. Okay, you don't need to put these fancy moisturizers on your face like Neutrogena and all this kind of nonsense filled with chemicals. Just stop drinking alcohol and drink more water, and oh my God, your face will just start to light up. People will go, oh, have you been lifting weights or working out? Or you look great. And you're like, no, I'm just not drinking alcohol. I'm drinking more water. The end. Oh, and by the way, I just signed one more client this week, which made me $15,000. So quitting alcohol not only saves you money, it makes you money. It not only and not only stops the aging process, but it reverses the aging process. In fact, they've done these studies that if you've been drinking consistently for 5 years, you've probably aged twice as many years. So if you've been drinking consistently for 5 years, you probably have the body and the face and the skin of someone who's 10 years older than you actually are, right? You stop drinking that poison, that attractively packaged poison. It is very attractively packaged, I'll give it that. You stop drinking that attractively packaged poison, all of a sudden, you stop the aging process and you can now reverse it. So instead of looking 10 years older than you're supposed to, as nature intended, now you look the age that always nature intended you to look. Like, I'm a almost 45-year-old man. I'm not saying that I look particularly wonderful or whatever. I just think I look the way nature intended me to look as a 45-year-old man. I'm healthy, I'm lean, I'm strong, I eat well, I drink lots of water. For the most part, I'm calm. I mean, I still say F and shit and, get triggered like other people, but I have tools on how to process those and get out of those situations quickly. I just think that I look the way nature intended me to look. This is what a 45-year-old James should look like. I've got low body fat. I go to the gym. I lift weights. I eat well, fit and healthy. I run. I ran an hour on Sunday. I ran 40 minutes yesterday. I ran a half marathon a couple of years ago. I'm stretching, But there are people out there who've been drinking consistently, and I don't mean like an alcoholic would drink. I just mean like a societally acceptable drinker would drink, who've been drinking for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and it's caught up to them. Are you one of those people? And when it catches up to you, all of a sudden you got a belly, or you got a little bit of stubborn belly, shoulder fat. Your skin starts to look weathered. You start to look tired. Your performance at work starts to drop. You start to kind of, the drift starts to get you, and you start to just drift along. And I don't mean like drifting up. I mean drifting downstream. And here's the thing. If you don't do something about it now, where are you going to be in another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Probably like not just where you are now, but worse. Kate Stewart on Facebook says her drinking's costing her $55,000. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Julio says the cost of rehab hospital is bad, plus the bills of the pills to calm you down is more health downer to your life. Yeah. So how much are prescription drugs? Who's on prescription drugs here? Who's taking prescription drugs? There's a cost to that. Nasty side effects. If you want help quitting alcohol, there's a couple ways I can help you. Like if you are just wanting a glimpse of the alcohol-free lifestyle, just to flirt with it, give it a little try, you could go to 30daynoalcoholchallenge.com. That'll give you a good little start in without alcohol. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or a peak performer, someone you're in sales, work on commission, and you want to quit drinking for at least 90 days with my help, and you get a coach and it's fun, and you do it with other entrepreneurs and other business owners and other like-minded people, you can either do one of two things. You can go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule. Okay, it's jamesswanwick.com/schedule. I'm just going to put it in my put it on my screen here for the folks on Facebook and YouTube who are watching live right now. And I'll just show you. And then on Instagram, I'll switch my camera around here in a second. But if you are on YouTube or Facebook and Instagram now, you can go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule, and you can book a free 15-minute, it's only 15 minutes, it's free 15-minute exploratory call with one of my coaches. There'll be a few questions there. Like I'll give you an example. You'll click on here, you'll pick a time, and it'll ask you to just ask you a few questions like, do you want to reduce or quit? How long do you want to quit for? Do you want to quit for 30 days, 90 days, maybe forever? I'll ask you to just tell me a little bit about your drinking situation. It'll make an estimate as to how much more money you'll generate if you go alcohol free. A few other questions there, and then you schedule the time. And then one of my former clients, now coaches, John Keltner, or Roseanne or Sean will actually be the ones that you speak to. So these are people who used to be clients of mine, and they're now working with me in my organization, and they're helping to inspire and transform other people's lives who are wanting to quit alcohol consistently. So who is this not for? Who it's not for is anyone who is not really, not really determined to go at least 90 days alcohol free. The goal here is that you're living the alcohol free lifestyle and you possibly quit for good. You don't have to, right? But my goal is to get you to 90 consecutive days. People who come to me usually, people who work with me in that 90-day program usually are an entrepreneur or a business owner or realtor, or they're in commission, or they're a peak performer. And they're at the moment, because of their drinking, that they're operating at about a 6 out of 10. Okay, they're operating about a 5, 4, 6 out of 10, somewhere around there. They're tired, they're foggy, they're not performing at their best. Their sleeping is pretty crap. Maybe they're carrying a few extra pounds they want to lose. They're not connected. They're not being a good role model maybe for their kids. They're not showing up the best they could. Maybe probably most of them are making at least 6 figures. Okay, we've got people who are making millions of dollars, but we also got people who are making $100,000 plus. Maybe they're in a job and they're not getting promoted. Maybe they're in a commission job and they're making 100 grand, but they know they could make 200 grand. Maybe they're making 200 grand, but they know they could make 400 grand. Maybe you got a business that's making, doing 1.5 million in revenue, but it could be doing 2.5 million in revenue. Okay. And they know that if they can consistently be alcohol free, they'll be operating at more of like a 9 out of 10. And they know that if they operate at more of like a 9 out of 10, then not only do they feel better, perform better, sleep better, more clarity, more energy, more productivity, but now their revenue goes up because of that. In this example, it only went up 50 grand. This person went up from 100 to 150. They've made $50,000 additional income or revenue in 1 year. Over 5 years, it's $500,000. Over a decade, it's $1 million. Just because they stopped drinking a glass of wine each night, or they stopped drinking heavily on the weekends, or they stopped drinking with colleagues or clients or friends or family. So if that's you and you want help and coaching and support, and you want to do it in a fun community, and it's fun. It's not like AA where you're sitting around going, oh, life sucks, I'm an alcoholic. No, you're not an alcoholic. You're just someone who's drinking too much at the moment. It's ridiculous that you have to go to AA and say, my name's Aaron, I'm an alcoholic. Ridiculous. Most people in the world don't need to go to AA. Most people in the world are just drinking more than they should, and it's getting in the way of them performing at their peak. And with a few mind shifts, a few little neuro-linguistic programming techniques, a few little mind shifts and mind tricks, and some accountability and some coaching and making it fun, making it like a challenge and setting some goals, you can easily quit and stay quit from drinking. So if that's you, go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule. Hey, Dave. Hey, B. Pelosa. Hey, Hakan. A few other people are joining as well. So I hope this was helpful. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you can message me, send me a direct message either on Facebook at my Facebook page, which is James Swanwick Official, or you can send me a direct message over on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you can send me a direct message now that says either quiz, or if you want to book a call, you can send me, just write the word call. In fact, if anyone here wants that schedule link, and have a free 15-minute call with one of my coaches, and you're committed to at least 90 days alcohol free, just type the word call, C-A-L-L, and I'll post the URL where you can book a call on that. Same on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching and you want that schedule link, just type the word call, C-A-L-L, and I'll drop it right now. Yeah, and you can book a free 15-minute call with one of my coaches. And if you're just wanting to do like a little test run, and you're not really willing to do 90 days, or it seems too overwhelming, and maybe you want to try 30 days, just type the word 30 days, and I'll send you a link to the 30-day no alcohol challenge. I've also got a book, the 30-day no alcohol challenge, which you can get on Amazon, which is a cool book, which is a good little introduction as well. But really, if you're a business owner, executive, entrepreneur, salesperson, and you know that drinking is holding you back, and you're ready for a change, and you're ready to say yes to you, the quickest way for me to help you is just to type in the word call. I'll send you the schedule link. Talk to one of my coaches. Like I said, there's nothing to buy on that call. It's just a free exploratory call to see if or how we can help you. And if we feel that we can help you, then we'll schedule another call to actually, go over the program. And if not, we're going to give you some free resources anyway to help you on your way, so you can go and try it and be alcohol free on your own. Cool bananas. Any other questions? No, I've got a few hearts here. Can someone give me some hearts? Give me some hearts on Instagram, or some love, or some thumbs up. Share this video with someone now. Like, if you think someone's leaving money on the table because of their drinking, just copy this recording or tag them. Actually, tag them in the post will be good. Have them watch this video so they can, see how much their drinking may be costing them. Thanks for watching. We're going to be doing more of this. Next week, we've got one of my former clients, now coaches, Connie, is going to be doing another Connie's Corner, where she's going to be answering questions about quitting drinking and the cost of your drinking. I'm actually writing a chapter for my new book today. I'm going to be in the zone. I'm writing a new book, which is coming out, and I'm writing a chapter about this very topic, about the cost of drinking today. So wish me luck. I'll be focused. No alcohol in this mind. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. See you.